Small disclaimer, this video was originally started all the way back in December when the new war originally came out, but I never finished it because balancing hobbies and real life responsibilities is hard. So, this video is made without any knowledge of the fixes or changes that came anytime after the new war's initial release, which shouldn't affect the video too much, but it's something to keep in mind. Anyway, here's the video, hope you enjoy. If I look unhinged, it's because I was up all night trying to finish it, so please enjoy. The new war was probably Warframe's most anticipated update, being teased all the way back in like 2019, I think. It was going to be the thrilling conclusion to the past 4 major quests, starting all the way back in 2015 with the Second Dream. And after numerous delays, it finally got a proper release date, December 2021. In the first Warframe video I made, it was like a bad, unstructured, retrospective type thing. Don't watch it. But I made that video because when the new war finally got an official release date, I wanted to play it, but I had like 2-3 years worth of content to catch up on. So that video was supposed to document what it was like preparing for the new war after not playing the game for literal years. Please don't watch it. It's not good. But now, here we are. Or were, because I recorded this video when the quest originally came out in December, and it's fucking May now. Jesus Christ. Anyway, new war. How was it for a returning veteran like me? Oh my god, is that his fucking hair? It's pretty good. I liked it. In terms of world building, Warframe always knocks it out of the park with some of the most creative set pieces and ideas I've ever seen in a sci-fi setting, and none of this is lost in the new war. Seeing this galaxy-wide conflict through the eyes of different factions by letting us play as the very soldiers that we've spent years mowing down shows us just how grand and devastating this war will be. The story is split into 3 acts. The first act has some really interesting gameplay diversity. Warframe's typical gameplay is fast, and any attempt to slow that down always feels out of place. But at the same time, every level is played by just zipping past everything to get to whatever objective you need to. But in the new war, you're thrown into the shoes of other characters, giving DE a chance to change that pace up a little. Cal's segment feels like a refined and grounded third-person shooter, not as fast as you normally would be in Warframe, but not tediously immobile. Viso's segment is slower and jankier, but makes sense in the context of a maintenance worker with little to no combat experience, and it does a really good job of making you feel small and weak without being completely helpless. Teshin's part, however, kinda sucks ass, because he has half the speed and mobility of a Warframe, but half of the clunkiness of the other 2 characters. He can double jump and slide, but he can't wall run and bullet jump, so instead he has this 2-step bullshit where he throws his protractor and then latches onto it like fucking Spider-Man. I appreciate the attempt to give Teshin his own movement system, but honestly I think just having him be able to bullet jump would have felt smoother. He's also melee only, which for some reason feels really slow and weighted, the exact opposite of how melee usually feels in this game, but you do get to play as Teshin, so every problem I just mentioned does not matter. Unfortunately, the actual war part of the new war only lasts about 10 minutes and then you die. Now, I do like the direction they ended up going in with the story, but the entire marketing campaign around this thing was about, the war. You can even see that some of the cutscenes in different trailers and other marketing are just straight up not in the game. I think DE decided to cut parts of the first act so that the quest wasn't 12 hours long, but they didn't really add anything to make it flow better. By the time we get to play as our actual character, Cal and Viso are both fucking dead, the alliance between the Corpus Grineer and Tenno happens off-screen, and we're carrying out a plan that we never saw get made. It just feels like a whole chunk of context is missing. And then Teshin dies with no fucking anything. Era's fucking little salad fingers just clip through his helmet and then he flops to the ground. This guy has been built up as our mentor and father figure for the last couple of years, so to see him discarded so unceremoniously was just disappointing more than anything. I get that they were probably trying to go for the, oh, this is serious thing where they kill characters off to show how gritty and edgy the war is, but there is no mention of Teshin or his death at all after this point. Something about that just feels off to me, like he wasn't supposed to die originally, but I don't know. Now the second act of this quest is probably Warframe's peak in everything. This time, you're not playing as a Warframe, or even your operator. Well, technically he's your operator, but also not your operator, because it's this thing with like the multiverse and other things and like, you know, multiple timelines and past, present, all existing at the same time. That you play as the Drifter, and they're this badass space cowboy with this fucking laser gun and smoke grenades and this explodey bow, and it's just a lot of fun. Playing as the Drifter is like doing an operator-only mission, except it doesn't suck shit. You don't go down in 2 hits, and you actually have powers that do stuff. Levels are designed in a way that are more hit and run, and you need to navigate a little more carefully because while you're still stronger than your operator, you're still not a Warframe, and Drifter levels emphasize that point perfectly. Act 2 also has some of the best banter ever in a Warframe quest.
Smiled himself. Full attachment fails on.
Comms are bad tonight. How many prisoners, you think?
Too deep to know for sure. But what if there's an Archon down there?
Don't do that.
I told you, an Archon.
Call the ship, smartass!
Normally Warframe dialogue is a little...
Whom do you hunt, Shadow? To cleanse your despair in their blood. By your hand. Expose their heart. By my edge. Leave it beating from its nest.
much. But everything with the Drifter feels rigid and witty, and his back and forth with Ordis is fun and makes that fake-out death a little bit more impactful.
Archon in the vicinity operate... Sorry, old habit.
Don't sweat it.
A new one. I don't think I get it either.
Ordis! No!
Don't sweat it.
The reintroduction of the Stalker and Hunhow is some nice fan service that actually serves a narrative purpose, and the boss fights that follow are fun. There are some flashbacks to the Zeramen, which gave me flashbacks to online school, but are a really creative way to introduce this universe's idea of multiverse theory, which is pretty interesting because they're actually based on real philosophical ideas about the nature of time. It's the effort to take real-life concepts and theories and then implement them into the game's world that always does the world building so many favors. Anyway, everything goes to shit in Act 3. You get the option to play as the Operator or the Drifter, but it doesn't really matter because if you choose the Drifter, everything unique about them just goes away and they become a skin for the Operator basically. Ghost Lotus runs away to kill Ballas, who now wants to blow up the sun for some reason. Then you chase her through the big meat tower, and then spaceship, and then your Warframe stops working for some reason. And then you have to use the shitty fucking mech that nobody likes. And then Era comes by and he's like, "Oh, who could have known working with the last remaining member of my ancient enemy would backfire, oh!" And then he dies. We get to Ballas, we fight him, and then Lotus gives him a fat smooch, and he dies. And then there's a big portal for no reason, and the fucking wall guy shows up and he's like actually in a wall and it's fucking insane. And then Lotus is like, "I am 3 people." And then you're like, "This one." And the quest ends. The story does conclude the immediate conflict that was set up previously, but leaves more questions to be answered, which is kind of just par for the course at this point in Warframe's story. The new war is great on the surface level. The set pieces, ideas, and world building are all interesting and fresh. Except for the mind control helmet thing, SpongeBob kind of did that already. But the actual story itself is all over the place in terms of quality and continuity with previously established information. Certain characters feel inconsistent, seemingly changing their motivations and goals at random, or at the very least with little to no explanation. This story definitely feels rushed and even incomplete in some parts, but actually playing the quest was so fun and interesting with its new mechanics that for me it honestly overshadows most of the poor story beats. Despite all of my complaints, DE has clearly put their hearts and soul into the new war, and Warframe as a whole. And the fact that the game is free and still generating a profit is a massive slap in the face for companies who believe that shitting out meaningless garbage with no passion or creativity is the only way to generate success. I'd say in terms of overall quality, the New War is probably the best quest in the game. And if you're interested in returning to the game for this quest, you probably already have, because this video was made like 4 months late. So yeah, that's cool. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. More stuff on the way, for real this time. For those who don't know, I stream over at twitch.tv/SeanC_takes-it-out-the-box. Yes, I know it's a long name. Do you know how many Sean C's there are? This was a marketing decision, alright? I also have a second channel where I'm going to upload stream highlights and kind of smaller, lower production value videos, hopefully on a more consistent schedule, probably once a week. And the main channel will just be used for passion projects or experimental videos, probably once a month or so. All of which will be much higher quality, at least by my standards. Thank you for watching. Please leave because I don't know how to end this video.